recording to iCloud. Perfect. All right. So welcome to the meeting. This is meeting number XYZ. I don't know what it is. Let's just have it relaxed today. And the reason why we have such sparse membership today is that most of our members are away at other districts because we have dual members. This is an advanced club. So most of our members are away at other districts in their conferences, right from China to Toronto to and so on, everywhere around. So we have a sparse meeting today. One of our members just this past weekend got elected to be the club growth director, Green B. So congratulations to her. She'll be hopefully back next week. She's just settling in. One of our other members, Jayapriya Muthukumar, is the club growth director elect in District 86, right where we are. So we are leaders, absolutely, and we can do just about anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to introduce you to our Toastmaster of the day today, Francoise Bowen from Antigua, Barbuda, all the way from out there in the Atlantic Ocean in a little island. And she's going to lead us today because she loves being the Toastmaster of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Francoise Bowen. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, CDG Bram, for this. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome everyone to Leadership Speak. And we're going to have a grand time today. We will have a beautiful time today. Now, our theme for today's meeting is none other than do not wing leadership. The theme for tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time of day, the theme is do not wing leadership. And we have speakers who will be speaking, giving educational tips. We have our guests in-house. We welcome you to our meeting. And we hope that you take away a lot of aha moments with you that you can share with your family, your friends, your colleagues, and even in socializing. I will now call on TM Linda to give us a toast.
I'm afraid Linda won't be in here today either.
Okay, all righty, no worries. No worries, we are going
so you can pick on Nazim to give us a toast.
All right, so TM Nazim.
I certainly will, and I'm delighted too, if I can get my camera on. Can you see me?
Yes,
thank you.
Sir.
Good morning, Toastmasters and Madam Chair and most guests. It's comforting to hear the theme. Leadership is everything, and it's truly an amazing act of behavior when you can lead from the front and be the example. That's the example that you want to be emulated and recognized, because doing it first is the most important thing. So with that in mind, I would say, do not ever wing your leadership responsibility. So to leadership, to one and all, to leadership.
To leadership. Cheers.
Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, TM Nazim, for that wonderful toast. Thank you so much. And I'll now call on our grammarian, TM Prasanna, to give us the word of the day. TM Prasanna, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. So I am Toastmaster Prasanna, playing a grammarian for this meeting. I have chosen the word of the day is resilient. It is an adjective. It means able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult situations. Now, across the world, we face a lot of situations, challenging situations. I feel a leader is the one who should be a resilient person. It means he has a lot of characteristics which depicts leadership qualities. I feel this quality also will make a leader a better person. So let's try to use the word as much as possible during the meeting. I encourage, I welcome all of you. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was muted. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. So the word of the day is resilient. And we're going to see how much we can use that word in our sentences, in our speeches, in our table topic. We're going to have fun with that word. I will now call on our timer. And our timer, I'm happy that our CGD stepped up to be our timer. And he's going to explain his role of a timer. Take it away. The virtual lectern is now yours, TM Brown.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome guests. I'm the timer for today, which means I will be timing you all in your speeches, in your table topics, and most of the meeting today to make sure that we are on time. It is the most important role in a Toastmasters meeting. I have a clock right on my screen here, and I'll be timing all the speeches. And so if you look at the agenda, if somebody would post the agenda, ask if Burke Brown can post the agenda link in the chat, you will see that the agenda has got green, yellow, and red. And so when those times are reached, I will put the green on as in the background here, and yellow according to the agenda, and the red for all the speeches and the table topics as indicated. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that, TM, for our timer. And we now have our first educational lesson, our first educational tip, our first educational moment. And I'll call the lectern to the stage, Dinesh Sharma. Dinesh Sharma. And the title is Leading in a Volunteer Organization. The duration of this speech is 15 minutes max, 10 minutes it will be at green, 12 minutes and 30 seconds it will be at red, at amber, sorry, and 15 minutes it is going to be at red. So the educational lesson is by TM Dinesh Sharma, Leading in a Volunteer Organization. The virtual lectern is now yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I'm going to share my screen here. Is everybody able to see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So, as the Madam Toastmaster said, the title of the speech is Leading in a Volunteer Organization. Moving on. So 10 skills to lead in a volunteer organization. We all are leaders. Okay. If you go through the definition of the leaders, you will see many qualities that the leaders are expected to have. However, when I look at the skills that are needed for leading in a volunteer organization, here are the 10 skills that I think.
Dinesh, you're sounding very jerky.
Right?
Dinesh,
Can
you're
you hear
sounding
me?
very jerky.
Actually, Nazim, it's your system. We are all okay here.
Perfect.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Dinesh.
So here are the 10 skills that are needed for
sorry.
leading in a volunteer organization. The first is form relationship. And I think I have said this many times earlier also. Braham, our founder, has said this. The actual relationship with the volunteers happens during one meeting to the another meeting. It doesn't happen on the day of the meeting. Okay, so what we need to do is, if we are a leader of a volunteer organization, we need to connect with all the volunteers outside of the meeting hours. Braham and I almost chat every day. I have Jayapriya and Vinod. They have started liking the posts that I do on a social media almost every day. So what am I doing? We're building relationship. Okay, so that's the first key. If you are a leader in a volunteer organization, that you should form the relationship. The second is ensure they are committed. Now, how are they going to be committed? Because the way I look at it is, people have three priorities: paid jobs, family, and then comes the volunteer activity. Okay, volunteer activities are normally at number 3 or number 4, but we still need to ensure that the volunteers are committed to the role that they have been assigned to. And how do you ensure that they are committed? Is ongoing communication with them, restating the objectives and the role, re-emphasizing with them, hey, when you took that role of me, VP of membership, or Bud taking the role of VP of education, what was the objective? Why did you take that role? Has anything changed on it? So ongoing communication will ensure that the volunteers are committed. The third thing is reward and recognize. Many people think that giving a monetary award is the reward. People look for money for a reward, but money is not a good motivator. I'm an HR guy, I can tell you this. I run a volunteer organization, and here is the 2 live examples that have happened with me in the last 1 week. We have a volunteer who maintains our website regularly on a weekly basis. And the other day, a client of mine sent me an email and said, Dinesh, I was looking at your website and I saw all the information was up to date. I could find whatever I was looking for. So great job on keeping the website maintained. Am I maintaining the website? I'm not. So what I did is I forwarded that email to the lady or to the volunteer saying that, look, your work is making a difference for me because people are recognizing the work that you are doing it. Pat on the back. Now she comes to me and she says, Dinesh, I think we can add this onto the website. We can add this onto the website. Great stuff. Let's do it. Okay, giving autonomy. And I'll give you another example, which happened yesterday with me. We have a volunteer that we would be bringing on board in the near future on a part-time basis. And he's looking for a full-time job also. Yesterday, a friend of mine posted a job opportunity for $100,000. And I asked this gentleman, if you want, I can connect you with this individual. And he said, no, I'm fine for the next little while. The work that I am doing for BMG is so fulfilling for me that I can wait for a couple of more months' time, because this $100,000 of a job I can find anytime. Okay, but the meaningful work that I am doing for BMG, I won't get an opportunity anywhere else to make that difference. So reward and recognize, that's the key part. The next is lead volunteers by communicating. And I think we had this presentation by that international president, Muhammad, who came many weeks ago here. And he said, good leaders are good communicators. Good leaders are good communicators. So always keep communicating with your volunteers on an ongoing basis, once a day, once a week, whichever way they feel connected. And I'm using Bram again, an example many times. He keeps saying that connect and engage, connect and engage. And these days, we are so lucky. We have WhatsApp, send a message. How are you doing? Okay. People feel inspired that my leader is connecting with me. Next one, repose faith in them. I'll give you this live example. About 3 weeks back, I was stressed out because there was an issue. I wasn't able to fix that issue. And I told Ram, hey, I don't think that I should be able to do that, the VP of membership role, but he understood that there is something underlying which is, and he said, is that the issue which is bothering you? Don't worry, I'll take care of it if you are not able to handle it. What did he do to me? He reposed faith in me and saying that I will take that issue. I'll take care of that issue. My commitment towards Leadership Speak Club got more and says, hey, commitment. I'm going to be sticking around with my role of VP of membership. Okay. Similarly, give volunteers a listening ear. Why do we say that? And I said, paid jobs, family, and then the volunteers. There would be times that volunteers may not be able to commit to the job or to the role that they are. So simply sitting down with them, giving them a listening ear, because the key part of communication is not only speaking, but listening also. So give volunteers a listening ear. Very importantly, is invest in the volunteer program. What does that mean? Investing in the volunteer program is, hey, Bud took on the role of the VP of education, okay? Or I believe Sandy took a new role. So investing in them, spending time with them, teaching them that, hey, if you're not sure, this is how the role is going to work, okay? Education, we all take on the role because we want to contribute onto it too, but we may not be ready for that role. Okay, so investing in the volunteer program is how you upskill them for the role that they are needed in. Last but not the least is motivate them. Last program, motivate them. Keep motivating the people. The way I did it to that lady who is maintaining our website by just sharing that client's email saying that, hey, your website is well maintained. She's now motivated. She feels that the work that she is doing for BMG is making a lot of difference, showing them the high level picture, how your work is fitting into the overall objective of the organization. Last but not the least is lead by example. And when we say lead by example, is people don't do what the leaders tell that they are doing it. People do what they see that the leaders are actually doing it. Okay? People look at their leaders. Are my leaders ethical? Are my leaders clear in their communication? Are my leaders engaging with me too? So leading by example. As a leader, sometimes we may have to take tough decisions. Okay? People may get a little not too happy when the tough decisions are taken. However, when they will look back, then they'll say, no, I think my leader is right, because the leader took a right decision at the time which was needed. As a leader, our role is not to make everybody happy, but on the other hand, we need to be we need to have empathy, we need to have care, we need to have compassion, we need to engage with our members. So leading by the example is what is needed from the leaders. When leader leads, and one of the things that I always say, leaders don't create followers. Leaders are the leaders who create more leaders there too. I have a friend who's a communication expert, and he says, Dinesh, what I want to do is I want to light 10,000 candles in the world. You know what 10,000 candles is? 10,000 candles is he want to impact, he want to engage, he want to empower 10,000 people through his knowledge, because knowledge is power. Okay, and he says, I want to do it to one person, that one person will do it to the another will do it to the another. So that's how he will be able to do this for 10,000 people. And I say this, I'm going to say this in Hindi, then I'm going to translate it in English it says, मैं अकेला ही चला था, लोग जुड़ते गए, कारवां बनता चला गया. What does that mean is, as a leader, sometimes you may have to start all by yourself. But when people see you that you're leading by ethics, you're leading by examples, and when you're leading for a purpose, for a mission, people will start joining you. And a time will come, you will look back and you will see thousands of other leaders that you have created in the world. That's called leading by the example. Okay. So in summary, people skill is the fundamental ability of the leadership, especially in a volunteer organization. Leadership brings together different aspects: empathy, decision-making, listening ears, all that stuff together too. However, here is another interesting part of it too. Leading in a volunteer organization is an enriching experience. When you appreciate the work that the leaders are doing in the volunteer, you go back. I come back home and I look at what my wife is doing, what my kid is doing. Okay, you start appreciating it because you start appreciating what other people are doing it. And the last but not the least is a real leader understands that the circumstances will not change unless he or she acts onto it too. So action orientation is an important piece of it too. Okay, you just can't be sitting around and hoping that the other people will act onto it too. As a leader, you have to act. That's all about my presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm not certain what's happening. My camera, I'm not able to, I cannot start my video. Okay, I'm not certain. Okay, thank you so much for that presentation. And one of my key takeaway is it said, leaders do not create followers. Leaders create leaders. And that is so true. And you provided valuable tips on how we can be healthy leaders and not winging it. Okay, I'm trying to open my camera. I'm not certain what's happening. Host has stopped it. Host, can you please allow my camera to go on? In the meantime, I will now call on our first speaker. And our first speaker is Marianna Burke. Her evaluator, her evaluator, I'm going to ask, this is on a volunteer basis, and I'm going to ask the evaluator for Marianna is T.M. Brown. T.M. Brown is Marianna's evaluator, and I'm just going to ask you please to give a synopsis of Marianna's speech.
Certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, Marianna is going to be speaking from Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Speech number 3. It's Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. She's going to present a speech on any topic to you and using vocal variety and her body language. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll watch for that. Thank you very, very much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right, thank you so much. And the virtual lecture is now yours to our first speaker, Tia Marianna Burke, title Trauma. Tia Marianna Burke, title Trauma. The virtual lecture is yours.
Few years ago, I bought a house in Niagara Falls. Best place to live. The park right down the street, 5 minutes away from me, walking. Beautiful, gorgeous. But that came with a price, a different one. my house is 100-year-old. And when you live in a 100-year-old house, you have to be resilient. When you live in a 100-year-old house, you just never know what's gonna happen next. Just a few days ago, I got traumatized right here in my very own home. Look at me, I'm still shivering. I'm scared a bit. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guest. It was a regular evening. I had dinner with my daughter, Diamond, and we were chatting, having fun, laughing. And then she says, oh, I have more study to do. And I said, okay, I go and clean up the kitchen. Now that is not what traumatized me. No, it's pretty close. So I came to the kitchen, absent-mindedly. I opened the tap, plugged the hole, and I'm about to push some dish soap in there when I looked down and it looked up. And I screamed and jumped back and froze. I had a mouse in my sink. I had no idea what to do next. So, very carefully, quietly, I did what we most do when we have a problem. I reached for my phone. No, not to call 911, though it did cross my mind. Why not? They do come when a cat is up on the tree. They should come when I have a problem. But no, I just called, Diamond, please come up, hurry up, please, come fast, chop, chop, come. And I went back to my frozen position. Sink on my right, island in my left, and the stair is right over there, where I already hear my daughter coming up. And I'm looking at her. And peek at the sink. I'm looking at her. Peek at the sink. So when she gets up, she knows she has to look there. And she does. And, oh, you poor dear, she says. And that woke me up. Diamond, I don't want that thing in here. I want you to catch it and take it out. Not out. I want you to walk down the street and let it go there. I am not a monster. So within 2 seconds, Diamond got a box and the mouse was in there. I don't know how. And she looks at it. Oh, look, it's scared and shivering. It's all wet. Well, I am not a monster, so I reached for some tissue right away, did it up and giving, okay, put it there, and that will dry it off. Now, would you please get it out of here, down the road? But my daughter said, oh, Mom, it's too late. I'm not dressed properly. I'm going out. How about I take the mask tomorrow morning to the school and I let it go at the school backyard? Okay, that can work. But now we had another problem. We had an overnight guest. And I am not a monster. And I always treat our overnight guest very well. So I went to the fridge to cut my earlier baked keto bread and my homemade almond butter, all organic, and made a sandwich for our guest and put it in a box. Now that was done, but now we had one more problem. The box wasn't too big, and we had no idea how much air a little creature like this needs for overnight. And now that we dried it, we fed it, we certainly wouldn't want to suffocate it. after all, I'm not a monster. So Diamond came up with an idea that how about we put a foil over the box and she can put holes in it. That will be plenty of oxygen. Yeah, sounded plausible. So she did and put the box down right next to the stairs. And I went to sleep having some nightmares about nutcrackers and Red King and chasing. In the morning, when I came back to the kitchen, I peeked over into the box and I saw the blob through the plastic wasn't moving. So I thought, oh, it's sleeping. So let's just let it sleep. But a few minutes later, I had to go to the laundry room right there. And as I walked by, I looked down and I saw this. Madam Toastmaster.
I wish I'm not sure why my camera's not coming on. I was upset to see my laughter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your speech. And wow, what a trauma that was. All right, so we're going to take a break because we only have one speaker. And obviously, our best speaker automatically goes to Tia Marianna. All right, so we're going to take a break, 5-minute break, and we're going to reconvene right after that.
That was an awesome speech. Whoa. I'm not a monster.
I am definitely not.
I love that. Oh, the mouse seems to be a very resilient mouse. Prasanna is a resilient mouse.
They are by nature very resilient. That is true.
I see the mouse is resilient.
Yeah, exactly.
It owes its life to until survive the next day morning. You don't have a cat in home?
No.
That's good for the mouse.
Hi, TM Bram. I'm not certain what's happening with my camera. It's telling me host. It's from the host end. I don't know what's going on.
Let me check. I don't know.
Probably maybe you can log out and log in quickly. Possible. Yeah, we see you. So it's a Bram control.
Well, I'm just the co-host. There's a host in this room somewhere. Oh, the host has left. The host has left the room. He's made me the host now. So, okay. So I don't know how Brent had set it up. Brent was in the room earlier on, so as the host. Okay, we've corrected all that. So you can all switch on your videos and all that. Super. And Madam Toastmaster, I'm timing you for the break for 5 minutes. So the timer is on. So Ram, how are you doing? Good to see you here, Ram.
Likewise, it's good despite the holidays. And as you mentioned, there's so many things going on.
Yep.
In the districts here and there, and not only our district is done with, but 123 is busy, and perhaps 60 as well, and maybe other districts as well. And of course, you're all encompassing and all over the place, which is encouraging. Yeah, doing well, doing better than before, improving my operation, just a minor operation, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting there. It takes
recovering
time.
That.
Yeah, recovery, but slow and steadily getting there.
Good. I see that you're going to be on some sort of a, I don't know, building clubs or something with the club growth director. This is the current growth director.
It's going to be
build
secret.
a club for coaches.
I was told to keep it quiet, so it didn't come from me.
No, I'm talking about you want to build a club with the current club growth director. Right,
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
coaches.
of course. So we need to do that. Yeah, the current my current club is on the road or is past the presidents, and I was dealt the leftover club this year, and sometimes those things happen. Nobody wants it, and you have to take it and take on the challenge.
Yeah.
And the challenge sometimes is very steep, but however, you need to take those steps. You learn from the process. And on Thursday, I went to the University Club, University of Waterloo. That's quite an eye opener. Lots of young people, 15 guests showed up, and
Wow.
hopefully we can recover. Maybe 3 or 4 are coming in. It'll be, and out of that, we
Awesome.
got 2 executives as well. I encourage them to participate and become leaders for tomorrow, moving forward. So I think it's going to go okay. Sometimes it's a very, very fluctuating situation with the university, as you know. Study time, break time.
Yep.
It's never consistent. You know that.
Yeah, that's the problem with the universities and colleges. And
Yes, colleges.
It's very difficult to keep the momentum up unless you have got great leaders in the club. In fact, there's more leadership required in those clubs than a normal community club.
Of course.
Keep it really going and motivated, inspired the people.
So. Yeah. And then maybe get a coach in there as well. And then, of course, you know that coaches are hard to find always.
Yep.
Maybe motivate the coaches, coach the coaches for them to do well.
Well, we are trying our best to do that, actually.
Of course.
As you know, we are holding these classes once a month.
Yeah. Well,
So.
Yeah,
All right, Madam Toastmaster, I'll show you the red. We are there. And we can go.
All right. Okay, so it was really nice. That's one thing about Toastmasters is during the break, you can interact with other Toastmasters, how they're doing, what's happening, iron sharpen iron, so you learn a lot. And thank you so much, Tia Maram, for being open. Thank you so much. All right, so we're back on the program, and we now have the exciting part. And this part of our guests who are wondering, what is table topics? Table topics actually teaches one and all how to think promptly on your feet. Every day in life, every day, someone come up with a question to us and we, sometimes put us on the spot or even at work. So table topics is actually an educational section in Toastmasters that teaches you how to think promptly on your feet. All right, don't shy away at all. And I'm going to call on our table topics master, none other than VP Brown. The virtual lectern is now yours.
Thank you, Francoise. I thought it was kind of ironic that our theme today was Leaders Don't Wing It. And I'm the table topics master where we teach people how to wing it. So I came up with a bunch of quotes that basically are, hang on a second here, I've got something dancing around my head here, and I think it's because I have a background on. There we go. I came up with a bunch of quotes from authors mostly about winging it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to choose anything, any number between 1 and 12. And that will be the quote. And you will bring up a quote that will help us to understand a different aspect of winging it. And some of them, a lot of them have a similar theme because people have a tendency to wish they could avoid winging it, and you'll hear that. What I would like you to do is listen to the quote and then respond with your own opinions of what that sort of thing means. So it can be anything at all. It can be a total disagreement with the quote. It can be a complete agreement with it, or it can be an anecdote, a story of some time that illustrates one side or the other of that. And if you like, I will give you an example of what I mean by this. If somebody could call out a number between 1 and 12.
2.
Number 2. Okay. I like this one. And by the way, I've not attributed these quotes simply because a lot of them were authors that I'd never heard of. And I thought, well, that really doesn't matter. So they're just quotes of someone else. I didn't make these up, except for one of them. The quote is, "I always wing it." Are you kidding? I prepare obsessively. Fellow Toastmasters, that is me. When I am Toastmaster of the day for a meeting, I am checking into Easy Speak, our organizational thing for setting up meetings. I'm checking into it almost daily and sometimes 2 and 3 times a day to see who has signed up, who has declined a role, so that I can try and make sure someone else is filling it. Now, as VP of Education, I do that a little more casually. But when I'm the Toastmaster of the day, no, there's no, leaving things to chance. And yet still, as I go through any course of any day, of any meeting, I should say, I find myself forced to wing it, to play it by ear, to say, will somebody volunteer to take on the role of general evaluator or something horrendous like that? Or something as simple as, will somebody volunteer to take on the role of grammarian? I've got a word for you. I still am obsessively prepared, but would you take on the role? And that is, in a nutshell, the story of how a Toastmaster can deal with winging it. Yes, we're going to have to wing it sometimes, but if we have prepared well enough, then winging it won't be so hard. That's my example. Would somebody like to volunteer? I could call on our guests. Ron, would you maybe like to start us off?
Sure, bud. Sure. I'll give that a shot.
Number between.
Number 9.
Number 9. Number 9 is, my mom once told me that's the secret of life. We all think we're frauds and that everybody is just winging it.
That is quite a quote, Mr. Table Topic Master. And a mother usually she doesn't wing it as much as we do. At Toastmasters, we'll learn how to wing it because you don't have any substance to start with. And being resilient, you have to be creative and become good Toastmasters, become good leaders. My mother told me a lot of things in life, and I have never forgotten about that. And I agree with a lot of mothers out there as well. Mother's Day was just about 2 weeks ago, or last week as well. It is good. They look out for her baby. I'm her baby forever. Doesn't matter how old I am, how much gray hair I've got, or lack thereof. My mother is always a mother. And the love between a child and a mother, you cannot escape it. So there are winging portions. Birds fly, they have the wings. They're winging it all the time. Without wings, they won't exist, would they? Therefore, I really like the quote about, particularly if it were somebody else saying that, I may dispute some of the things, but coming from a mother, oh, I better not. Mothers can be really challenging, particularly going in the States right now. They don't have baby formula there. You need that formula for the babies. So I love the quote, Bud, and a very good one. Back to you.
Thank you. Testament to the resilience of our guests. As Table Topics Master, I did shortchange my duties a little bit. I should have mentioned the timing factor, that our timer will show a green screen or background form at 1 minute, yellow background at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red background at 2 minutes. And I would ask everybody if you get to the right background, wrap it up as quickly as you can. All right. Who else would like to have a shot at this?
There's
Tell
Bram.
you, I am not above volunteering. Okay, would somebody be willing to time for Bram? Because he seems to be volunteering. You're muted, Bram.
Yeah, Marianna raised her hand that she will volunteer to time Bram.
Okay, hang on a second here. I'm going to change the screen so I can see people raise their hand. That's better. Okay, Marianna, what number would you like between 1 and 12? And bearing in mind you're muted at the moment.
I thought Bram speaking and I'm timing him.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bram, what number would you like?
Well, I like number 1 normally, unless you have a favorite number, whichever.
Number 1 is available. Number 1 is professionals know that they're winging it. Amateurs pretend that they're not.
Professionals know they are winging it, and amateurs are pretending not to be winging it. Well, you know, right now you have no idea how many roles I'm actually doing in this meeting and another meeting. Why another meeting? Because we changed the link, so I'm in another the old link and directing people here if they come. So there's another computer on with the old link just in case. And I did, while the table topic was going on, directing somebody over here. Now, am I a professional or I don't know, but I've been a Toastmaster, let me tell you, for 26 years. So I'm spotlighting, I'm timing, and I'm doing evaluations and being the Zoom master and the whole lot today, as well as directing people back here. So did you notice anything different? I don't think you probably did notice much of a difference. I did forget to, well, didn't forget, but I was distracted by somebody in the room, so I didn't start Ram's table topic timing until he was halfway through, perhaps, because I had to put everything on mute and talk to the other person in the other room to drag them here so that she could be here. So because of my experience, I'm not going to say I'm amateur or professional, but because of my experience, you know, I can do that, and I'm not afraid to do that. So it comes with practice, it comes with confidence, it comes with, I know what the whole the playground is. I know every corner of this playground, and so it allows me to sort of do all those things and almost seamlessly, almost, not quite, because there's not too many things that I'm doing today. It's just to support our other members who are not here because they are away in their own conferences and things like that. So we have to be supporting each other in any way we can. And so that's what I'm doing today. So I think it's being self-directed helps us in that manner. So yes, I think when, and I wouldn't call it amateurs, but those people who just started out in Toastmasters who are not as confident yet, they would find it very difficult to do what I'm doing today, for sure. I mean, because they don't know all the corners of the playground. They're just learning each corner separately before they can do the whole playground. So that is fine. And so that is my spiel about today, rather than actually answering the question directly. But back to you, Bud.
Thank you, Bram. I've been told one of the most frequently used lines in Zoom is, "You are muted." And I believe it. Peter, would you care to have a go at this? Peter Letzman.
Oh, you really want me to speak, Mr. Brown?
I want everyone to speak.
Indeed. Can I pick number 13?
You could, except there isn't one. Can you?
Oh, okay. Then I'll.
But wait, actually, I only did 11.
No,
that's
right.
So there's only 11.
I want to pick number 11. Is that what it is?
Number 11.
Number 11
is the secret of improv is that you look comfortable because you've done it so often. I could have said the secret of table topics if it was my fault. Because you look comfortable because you've done it so. The more you do it, take it away, Peter.
Okay. the secret of improv is not sweating, because you have done it so often. And I think about this a little bit in terms of improvising a presentation, and you never totally improvise. You always draw upon some history, some knowledge, some past experience that you have. For example, we talked about, the first question was, whatever the first question was, I can't remember. I'm old, so I don't remember so well anymore. And you folks will learn that as you have. But, you know, I thought about the difference between the amateur and the professional that we had just talked about in the previous question. And I think that the professional perhaps is more is concerned because he knows that the limit of his knowledge, in other words, as a surgeon, as an attorney, as an accountant or so on, you know what you don't know. And you have your fingers crossed and you are hoping that they don't ask you the question in the area that you don't know, but they ask you a question in the area that you do know. On the other hand, the amateur doesn't know what he doesn't know. So he goes in there totally panicked to say, well, they can ask me any question and I doubt if I know the answer, and I'm going to have to come up with some BS, some sort of baloney answer that may sound intelligent or may cover the area. So my mission is, in terms of improvisation, is prepare, and prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, and I will go back into hiding.
Okay, thank you, Peter, for giving it a shot. I'm going to ask Anusha. Am I saying that right, Anusha?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, I'm going to ask Anusha to put up with my limited typing abilities and hope that my sound comes through correctly.
My sound is not that clear. I'll try still.
I'll try it. I'll try to make it work for you. What number would you like?
7.
Number 7. Number 7 is, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
One doesn't miss much, just the point. When one says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Well, for a person who believes fervently in the existence of the supernatural, I can really say, expect the unexpected, because you really don't know what is good for you. Or is that something we humans have taught ourselves to believe? Because we don't know what is in the offing for us. And because of that, we either have to learn to accept what comes our way or believe in the factum that the effort that you put in is not necessarily concomitant with the outcome. I would personally like to believe in the former, and that is, God has plans for us. My mother tells me very often, you don't know what is good for you. Just do your best and let it be. And that's so very true. We see it in so many facets of our life. We see it in almost actually every facet of our life, where we plan something and the exact opposite comes out to be true. We have an actress in the Indian scenario who wanted to be a microbiologist and who turned out to be an actor. That is what they call destiny. That is what they call the plans of God for us. That is what they call not trying to be too ahead of oneself, or should one say, not trying to be too big for one's boots. In the Bhagavad Gita also it has been said, do your bit, do your action, don't expect the reward. At the same time, they have the saying that do your bit, and if it's good enough, it'll come back to you. So there are the positives in this entire scenario. And what we can do is believe in the expression of action. Believe in the fact that I try my best and that I leave the rest. And that's summed up in a very pithy saying, which I just love to quote every time. Accept each thing of God as an unrepeatable miracle, because that is exactly what it is, a miracle and unrepeatable. Thank you, and back to the table topics master.
Okay, thank you, Anusha. We have, just looking at the time here, it's 10:25.
You have lots of time, but
Way ahead of time, so we may use up all 11 if I can get enough volunteers. Who else would like to take a shot at this?
I'll take it, but
Inda. Sorry, Inda.
Dinesh.
Oh, I saw Inda's hand come up.
Okay,
Okay,
so I can
Dinesh.
be the next one. I can be the next one.
All right. Inda, what number would you like?
Number 8.
Number 8. Okay, this is a longer one, so I hope my sound is okay. It says, of course, we are winging it, but that goes much better if you prepare a list. Actually, no, that's it. It goes much better if you prepare a list. So of course we are winging it, but that goes much better if you prepare a list.
Do you mind repeating a bit? I just heard the first part, of course, we are winging it, and then the rest of it kind of faded off.
Right? Of course, we are winging it, but that goes much better if you prepare a list.
Fellow Toastmasters, of course, we are winging it. When we are here as Toastmasters, or the first time you come to Toastmasters, you take a role. Yes, you can read it, but reading doesn't tell you what you're going to do. You have to try it. So we're always winging it. It also applies to your first job. Their job descriptions, you're told what responsibilities you're going to do. But when you start doing it, it's always different from what you read. So I believe like we're always winging it. And yes, you have to prepare too, or have a list. A list is just a guide because sometimes you forget what you're supposed to do. A list might remind you that, yes, these are some of the things that I'm supposed to do or try and do. And these are the ones that I've done. These are the ones I haven't done. Or this is something that I want to try. So yes, we are always winging it. Life is full of winging it, trying new things, but we have to be open-minded to try it. Because sometimes when you're tasked with a challenge, for example, the first time in table topics, you don't want to try it because you're like, oh, I'm not good as the rest. But it's just taking that one step to try and wing it, and a list to guide you, and you will be fine. Back to you, table topics master.
Thank you, Inda. Okay, Dinesh. Pick a
Yes,
number.
sir. 4.
Number 4. This one I actually know who said this, and I think you would too. It was Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens. He says, impromptu speaking is hard. It usually takes me 2 or 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guest. Impromptu speaking is hard, but then getting up in the morning is hard also. We don't want to get up in the morning, but we still do. Because why? We know when we get up, we have things to do. And how do we get up in the morning? Is we make a practice that, hey, 5:30 in the morning, I will do it. We put an alarm there too for first day, for second day, third day, the body gets tuned to it to then then we don't need an alarm. We automatically get up at the time that we set for ourselves. So improv speaking, yes, in the beginning, you might need a little bit of a practice, and we always say, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes a professional perfect. Okay, so yes, in the beginning, the improv speaking may be hard, okay, but with practice, nothing is hard in the life. This is my way of looking at the things, is whether we look at the glass half filled or whether we look at the glass half empty, it is who we are. And when we do this as a resilient Toastmaster, we know that, hey, resilience takes us, persistence takes us to wherever we want to go to. One of the analogies that I heard it from somebody, and it says, even if you take one step every day, at the end of the year, you would be 365 steps ahead, and you would be much better than somebody who didn't even make an effort to take the first step. So taking the first step is hard, okay, but we still have to do it. Practice makes the perfect, and impromptu speaking is, you see, here I am, okay. Toastmasters have helped me. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, table topic master.
Thank you, Dinesh. Yvonne, you think you might be willing to give it a try? I just see Yvonne's name in the list here.
Oh, dear me. I'm going to be very embarrassed this morning.
No more than any of us. We're all pretty resilient. Pick a number between 1 and 12. I do have 12. I just read my list.
1 and 12. 10 has gone?
10 is gone, yes.
Give me 2. Let me see if I can manage. If I can't, I will just pop out.
I started off with 2. Sorry. There's
Wing
3,
it.
5, 6, 8, 9, and 11.
What 11 says?
11. Prepare as well as you can for every contingency, but always remember your plan is not perfect and you may have to wing it.
Prepare as well as you can.
And for every contingency, but always remember your plan is not perfect. You may have to wing it.
I hear the last word. Repeat the last word in the topic.
You may have to wing it.
I think you are breaking up, but I will try.
I'll try one more time. Maybe if I say it slower, the bandwidth will be able to take it. It says, prepare as well as you can for every contingency, but always remember your plan is not perfect and you may have to wing it.
Toastmaster, table topics master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Prepare as well as you can. Most often we do prepare, but we get the opposite of what we prepare. Sometimes we go in an examination room and I'm going to just do 5 topics. But when you go into the room and you see the paper, it is quite different from what you would have prepared for. So it's always have to resort to the second option, trying. And that's what I'm doing here this morning, trying to do a table topics master.
Well done. There is no fail in this. There is just try. Okay, I've got a few quotes left open now. Would anybody like to volunteer? All right. Marianna? Roxana?
Yep.
What number would you like, Roxana?
Number 6, is it available?
Number 6. It says, no matter how many plans you make or how carefully you plan, life is about winging it.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. It was a wonderful topic. Life is all about winging it, no matters whatever we plan. Every day is a new opportunity. Things are changing around us. It is important to observe things and what we do accordingly. Our goal must be clear, all set. Well, I can quote Thomas Alva Edison stage. He has thousands of inventions, more than that. But it's all about inventing more. Even one time, I think it was a Christmas time, was a fire in his lab. He was watching fire and his kid has come and, Dad, what happened? He just said, all mistakes were burnt. So it seems it is not about what we lost, what we had. It is about winging it. He said, I'm going to start fresh from tomorrow. The new ideas, the mistakes are gone. So it's all about winging it. At this moment, what we have, what we got is more important than what we lost. The past gives the worry. Futures, of course, brings a fear, a frustration. Rather, if we have the confidence and the clarity and we have a resilient to do more things, we'll always winging to pursue a greater things in life. Over to you, Table Topic Master. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxana. Nazim, you want to go?
I think
Nazim? Is he still here? No, I think he's logged in. Okay, never mind.
I think Sandy, opportunity to be given to Sandy.
Oh yeah, Sandy.
I love it. I have fans. Wow. Okay.
We've got.
You just pick any number you like for me, bud.
I'll give you number 3 then. That is, hang on a second here. Get away from my page. There we go. There are no adults. Everyone is winging it. Some just do it more confidently.
Was the beginning, there are no adults?
There are no adults. Everyone is winging it. Some just do it more confidently.
Well, I couldn't agree more with that. That's what the best part for me about being a Toastmaster is. Anybody who's not a Toastmaster thinks that people who are able to wing it and speak clearly and jump into tasks and roles, that they're born this way. You're so lucky that you're able to speak that way and with confidence. And really, I think all of us wing a large part of our day. I was known in the beginning of Toastmasters 20 years ago, people would razz me about writing my speech in the parking lot just before the meeting. And I still do things like that, but I'm much more efficient and much more confident and much more prepared at winging it than I used to be 20 years ago. I remember one time in my early days as a Toastmaster, I participated in the table topics contest and I won at the club level. And I went to the area level and I won again. And then I went to the division level and I thought, wow, really, I think maybe I must be good at this. Until one of the people that were also in the contest from another area met up in the hallway with me and said, congratulations on getting this far. How has the preparation been going? And I didn't know how to respond. I only entered the table topics contest because there was no preparation and I could wing it. It was at that time that I learned how to practice behind the scenes and then to make it look like I winged it. And that is an essential skill that I take with me every day because it makes me more resilient at Toastmasters, but especially more resilient in everyday life, to appear prepared and to also appear to be winging it. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Sandy. Wow, we're still got lots of topics left, but we're running out of volunteers. Marianna, you're muted, but if you unmute yourself.
Not anymore. So what numbers do you have?
All right, what have we got available still? There is 5, 9, 5 and 9 actually is all that's left.
Okay, so give me either 5 or 9, please.
Okay. I hope you're receiving my sound okay, because this is a long one.
Uh-oh, okay.
It goes, I have immense respect for teachers who know what they are doing. I sometimes feel like I'm just winging it, and a pack of wild 12-year-olds will sense my weakness and tear me to shreds.
Thank you very much, Mr. Topics Master. And of course, I feel like that I always feel like I will make a horrible mistakes and people will know that I am not ready, I am not prepared. But on the other hand, I believe in people's good intention and understanding and the empathy. And that's one of the things I learned at Toastmasters, that people have that and they're patient and let you make a mistake as you go ahead, and that makes you better, makes me better. I changed so much in my past 4 years with Toastmasters. I learned so much. And yes, many times we have to wing it. As a speaker, as a teacher, as a leader, we have to be adaptable. We have to be resilient and we have to adapt to our situation, whatever comes. And sometimes it doesn't end perfectly the way we thought it would be, but thank God for compassion. It's always helped us through. And let's see what else can come from that. The way someone said that when you say a story, you have to live in your story, and then you cannot make a mistake because you say your truth. And that comes the same way when you're a leader. Your leadership has to come from your heart, and then you cannot really make a mistake. And when you teach people, it has to come from your heart just as much as from your brain. And then you won't make a big mistake, and people will appreciate you even when you do. Thank you very much, Topic Master.
Thank you, Marianna. Words of wisdom. Okay, there's one number left. Does anybody who hasn't spoken yet, want to give it a try? How about you, Francoise?
All righty.
The one remaining one is, I like this one. I'm just winging it. I was kind of hoping that you would wing it with me.
Thank you so much for that. Title. I'd like you to repeat it one more time for me, please.
Absolutely. I am just winging it. I was kind of hoping that you would wing it with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, leaders, and communicators, in life, many times we want to have someone to assist us in what goal we desire to achieve. And listening to all of my previous leaders about winging it and the importance sometimes of preparing, but when you prepare, something happens and bam, you just have to wing it. We all plan, and then something do happen, and you call on someone, can you please assist me, please, at the last moment, like a table topic. And your focus, you want to be resilient in what you're doing, and they are able to wing what you're doing and let the goal be achievable. It's sometimes you have to take a quick step back and ask, who can I depend on to help me? Because it's not everyone will help you go forward. As Napoleon Hill said it best, sometimes people will put sand in your engine, and then when you're thinking you can move off, you cannot move off. And that's from in the book, the 12 Steps to Success. Winging it comes in handy many times, but at the same time, we still need to ensure that we are prepared so that in case of anything, we're able to wing it professionally and know in our heart we are winging it and praying no professional recognize we are winging what we're doing, and let the goal become achievable with that person who's helping you to let that outcome become a reality. The virtual lectern is back over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Francoise. I think we've proven today just how resilient the members who were able to be at today's meeting can be, in that just about, I think everybody, well, maybe not everybody, because they only had 12 and there were 14 people in our meeting. But we had a good selection of people who were willing to step forward and wing it. And so I'm going to ask you to think about each one, look around the faces that you see, the names in the participants list, and send me a chat message, basically of who you think did the best job of winging it today. And with that, I will turn the meeting back to our Toastmaster, Francoise.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for such a lovely session. And all of us participated. We quickly got on our feet, even though we are sitting, but we quickly got on our feet and we mastered table topics. We did. I'll call on our general evaluator. I'll call on our general evaluator to give her to call on her team and to give a report. And I think by then we'll be able to do our vote. Well, the results will come from our table topic master and who got the most vote. So in the meantime, I'm going to hand the virtual lectern to our general evaluator, TM Sandy. And I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be your table topic master today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Unique, intimate, quiet, yet still fun. And every educational tip, every speech, to the table topic session, to our prepared speech, we all learn something from one another that we can take away and use in our everyday life. As we say, we put it in our toolbox and it will come in handy at the right moment. Thank you so much. Continue to be resilient leaders and communicators. The virtual lecture is now yours, CM Sandy.
Before Sandy begins, though, let me just say this. Because I'm the timer and multitasking many different things, there will be no poll for the table topics because I can't go and create the poll unless Brent here has recorded who they are, or Bud has, and Bud can give Brent. Brent is here, I think, and you can give him the list and he can create the poll. But I won't be able to create the poll because I'm totally multitasked to the max.
I sent you a message asking about the poll, Bram, but I wasn't expecting you to do it. I know how many tasks you are doing.
Yeah,
That's
no. Hey, Bud, I'd love to, but I'm mobile and out in the country, and there's no way for me to do that on my phone while I'm driving. So my apologies.
We can resolve this by everybody just sending me a one-word chat, the name of the person you think should be the winner. And then problem solved. We don't need the poll.
Perfect. Thanks.
Brilliant. I'd like to see the screens on Bram's desk. Fellow Toastmasters, as the general evaluator today, my role is to introduce the speech evaluators and also get a timers report a little later, a grammarians report, and announce the table topics winner. To begin with, I am going to introduce Dinesh, who will be evaluating the Leadership Speak project today given by, oh no, sorry, Dinesh was the person who gave the speech. Bud Brown, who loves the mic today, I guess, is going to be evaluating Dinesh's speech. And I believe the timing is 2 to 3 minutes, Mr. Timer. And please help me welcome Bud Brown.
You see, Bram isn't the only one who's holding down multiple roles today. Mine just aren't as complex as his. Dinesh, I want to thank you for your presentation today. It was an excellent example of how to do a leadership in a volunteer position. It's actually, I think, simpler to do leadership in a volunteer position than in a paid position, simply because the guy who's paid thinks he can just order people to behave, and they will. He doesn't know that he's no better off than the volunteer leader. But you did a great job, made some excellent points. Your PowerPoint was well put together. It did not have too many words. It had titles, which is the way, in my opinion, a PowerPoint should be. I think it was Darren LaCroix who told me, if your PowerPoint says everything you have to say, then what do they need you for? So that was well done. And the other thing I want to compliment you on is the way you powered right through the tech problems. There was a little bit of sound breaking up, as I heard people telling my sound was breaking up as well. And you went straight ahead as if there was no problem at all. And to me, that's the way to handle it. My one recommendation is a particular bugaboo of mine. I really feel that you weaken a speech at the end when you say, thank you. We should be thanking you. You're the one who did all the work. My recommendation is to use vocal variety. That can be changing the pace, pausing, lowering your voice so people have to lean in to listen. All sorts of ways you can use vocal variety to refer back to the beginning of the speech, maybe your opening line. And then when you finish doing that, pause. And if nobody picks up on the clue, then you can say, Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster. I think if you did that, it would end your speech on a more powerful note. But I really like how well you researched this presentation. And I especially liked how you gave examples of each of the points from your own personal experience. Well done. Thank you for that speech. I can say thank you. You do.
Thank you very much. Bud Brown, multitasker. I believe as a general evaluator, we are evaluating the evaluator directly after they evaluate. And I would like to say, Bud, that you gave some ideas to Dinesh to hopefully encourage him to focus on for the next speech. You gave examples, you gave ideas for improvement or suggestions for improvement or to make it even better. And I think on all on all fronts, I think that was a very supportive and useful evaluation. In my listening, what I would have liked from Dinesh is I would have liked him to kind of anchor that these principles for running a nonprofit organization are exactly the same in the real world, in the corporate world, and especially in Toastmasters. And I would have liked a couple of examples to anchor or to link those principles, because leading volunteers or leading a little hockey group or leading the world, those principles are crossover to all of those. And I think I would have liked that to a little bit about that in the speech. Other than that, I learned a lot. Thank you very much. I am now going to go over to our next evaluator, who is Marianna Burke. No, sorry, she's the speaker. I'm in a different time zone, so it works differently here. I believe that Brom is going to evaluate Marianna's speech. This is a great blooper meeting. I'm so happy I'm here. Please help me welcome Brom Memo.
I'll try my best to do this evaluation. Having multitasking. Ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Toastmasters, and especially Marianna Burke. Now notice what Marianna did for her opening of the speech. You know, started with it was a great story to begin with. If you've noticed, she's a great storyteller. She began with where she was, Niagara Falls. For those of us who live in Ontario know Niagara Falls. She bought a house, 100 years old, and then she gets into the speech. And so the whole picture was created about how where she was, what happened, and on what happened at the end, which was a cliffhanger. Very well done storytelling. Now the objective was, of course, vocal variety and gestures, and so I will focus mainly on that as well at the same time. But I would like to say that if we all noticed, there was great humor in it, right? Like, I'm not a monster, you know, and you know, the mouse was a guest, you know, and you look after the guest. And so those great humor, and it really made the story very interesting. Now let's focus on the vocal variety. There was vocal variety. And from time to time you raised your voice and to make a point about, oh, there's a mouse, or hey, there's this thing, and so on, and things like that. Now, how can you improve your vocal variety is what I'm going to focus on at the same time. And that is use the acronym HPL. What does the HPL mean? It's not high performance leadership program, but it's go high, pause, and go low, or LPH, go low, speak a bit low, then pause, and then go high for as a surprise, and so on. So try more of those, and especially the pauses. The pauses in a speech like this, where there's storytelling, try and pause for 3 seconds. It's very difficult for a speaker to pause for 3 seconds, but we are in advanced club. In an advanced club, try. See that what I did? Pause for 3 seconds. And when you do that, and you count 1001, 1002, 1003 in your head while you pause, and look at the camera. And when you pause and do that, suddenly the audience will say, oh, what's going on? And they'll, you know, our minds tend to wander, and the audience will come back to, oh, yes, let me follow what's being said. So pauses are very, very important in that. And then suddenly going exclaim something very high, but then go low. So things like that. Gestures were great, wonderfully done. I mean, enhanced your story. So you're very good at your gestures. What really added to your speech was that you were right there in the kitchen doing the speech. Now, that really adds to, you know, being on Zoom and creating a Zoom presence and right exactly where you were. That's where the story took place. That really was the cream, the cherry on the cake, I would say. Wonderfully done. There's so many possibilities in the Zoom. One other thing is your title. You said trauma. You didn't quite feel, I mean, sure, you know, but you really didn't feel like a trauma. But you kept mentioning, I'm not a monster throughout the speech. And I think that should have been the title. I am not a monster. That would have really added to your speech. So with that, I mean, very well done speech. So just a few thing recommendation like high, pose low, low, pose high, you know, and really enhance the speech by that pause that is long enough and so on. With that, back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Master Brahm. You gave a lot of tips. I hope that you took notes. Great tips, great examples, great bringing to our attention the power of the story and the idea of being in the kitchen where it happened. Just a brilliant evaluation altogether. And I agree that the title could be something different than trauma. I haven't got a suggestion for you. I was thinking of the mouse in the house, but that would tell the whole story. I totally enjoy, you are a storyteller, and I love how you use real backgrounds and real situations rather than some kind of virtual something. Totally enjoyed that. Really glad I came. Congratulations to both of you. I am now going to ask for a Sharma report for each of those evaluations, please. And also asking the members to vote for their best evaluator. And if you would just put that in the chat and send it to me, I will announce it shortly. So the vote in the chat to me for the best evaluator. And then our multitasker timer. I bet you're sweating.
I've missed so many cues, you have no idea.
This is the best meeting I've been at. There's just so many. It's the learning lab, right? Where it's sound or technology or multitasking.
Oh boy. Anyway, so here are the timings for the speeches, table topics, and the evaluations, all the total meeting. So Dinesh spoke for 13 minutes and 38 seconds. Marianna for 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Those are the speakers. Our table topics, I will give actually times for everyone since we have a little bit of a time here rather than the longest and the shortest. Ram Lakhanpal, 2 minutes. I was 2 minutes 14. Peter, 2 minutes 10. Anusha Khurana, 2 minutes 16. Linda Adu, 1 minute 19. Dinesh, 2 minutes 9 seconds. Yvonne, 39 seconds. Prasanna Jayakumar, 1 minute 36. Sandy Emden, 2 minutes 14. Marianna Burke, 2 minutes 10. Francoise Bowen, 1:56. And for our evaluators, ladies and gentlemen, Bud Brown, 2:45. And me, Marianna tells me I'm 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I was a little over. Thank you very much. And back to you, Madam GE.
So well done. Could I have the grammarian report, or is it too soon for that?
Yeah, sure. It's ready. Okay. Good evening, all. The grammarian report as it is. I will be saying word of the day, number of times, and good usages also. Toastmaster Marianna, word of the day 1 time, of course, traumatize. Toastmaster Bud Brown, word of the day 3 times. Guest Ram, word of the day 1 time. And Toastmaster Bram, multitaskers, word of the day one time, used frequently. Toastmaster Peter, what they don't know. Professionals knows what they don't know. Amateurs don't know what they don't know. That's a real good phrase. Toastmaster Anusha, expect the unexpected, facets of life, try the best. Toastmaster Linda, radiate and use the word of the day one time. Toastmaster Dinesh, one time. Practice makes perfection. Toastmaster Wani, word of the day one time. Prasanna, word of the day one time. Sandy, word of the day one time. And good usages are efficient. And Rosa and Francoise used word of the day 2 times. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that. I'm very impressed with the background you're using too. Perhaps we could have a one-on-one tutorial or 5 of them because it takes me a while. Thank you for that. I'm going to ask Bud Brown, our table topics master today, for the winner of today's table topics round.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Yes? Oh, good. Okay. Yes, the table topics, we had votes for a variety of people, but the winner, the clear winner today, and I endorse this, so if only for her use of the word concomitant, and that is Anusha. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Timer, I do believe I have about 5 minutes to evaluate the meeting as a whole. And
7.
Oh,
7
okay.
minutes.
I had a lot of fun today mostly because there were so many mistakes, and I love mistakes. I really enjoyed the theme of winging it. And it was interesting to me that we have so many cultures and we're an international group that meets on Saturdays, that everybody understood and was able to give an example of winging it. So it's not just me. So great idea for the title of the theme of the meeting, and then to follow up the theme, to have the table topics address the theme. And I really liked that structure, how this club is just adding new things each week to make it even more exciting and even more learning. Toastmaster of the day, Francoise, I got to know you a little better today, and I just loved how you just presented and flowed with the entire meeting, considering all of the double duties and double roles and people missing. Wow, I've learned a lot, and soon, because of your confidence and expertise today, soon I'm going to sign up for that role too. So thank you for teaching me, and it won't be long. And I love that people are all over the world, Antigua. But of course, I love the table topics idea and the link to the theme. I really like that we have guests in this club that come back over and over. And whether it's members or guests, if they come back to a club, for me, it indicates that we do learn and laugh and connect at these meetings, and we provide value, or our guests would not be coming back. So thank you to the guests for attending our Saturday meetings. I don't know how much more I have to evaluate, because I know that Brahm is doing a whole lot of things, and I think Brent's on the road. He's probably doing all kinds of things. But I guess in summary, the whole idea of winging it was very evident today at this meeting, and we did it and we pulled it off. And I'm sure that I'm not the only person who learned a few things. And I'm really glad I came. And this club just epitomizes, hope that's the right word, of self-directed leadership. and I just really like the theme, and I look forward to next week's meeting. Thank you all for the teachings and the learnings today, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much to our GE for giving your report, and for your team as well for giving the report as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me go to I look back on the agenda quickly. And I think that we are now, it's 11:10 a.m. And at this time, I hand the virtual lectern. Let me make certain. Sorry, on my end, my program got closed when you're doing multiple things at multiple times. Okay, so it's trying to reopen my agenda. Okay, alrighty. And I would like to ask our guest to give us a few comments. And I recognize a particular accent, and it's from the Caribbean island of Barbados. Yvonne Condrington. Welcome to Leadership.
Thank you very much.
All right, can you give us your aha moments with us that you took?
And I enjoyed everything, and I like how that theme blended with the word, and the questions, the table topics were so good, surrounding everything that was done. And I always enjoyed being here. Last Saturday I was unable to be here, but today I forced, although my meeting is this afternoon, I just wanted to be with y'all. Thanks very much.
Thank you for traveling all the way from the Caribbean island of Barbados to be with us. Thank you. And then we have Linda. Linda, thank you for participating in our table topic, and what aha or takeaway moment that you...
Linda is a member, she's not a guest.
Okay. All right.
Madam Toastmaster, if I may, I would like to recognize Rosie Rana, who's here. She is actually from Nairobi, Kenya, country where I am from. And she was the past district director over there. And Rosie, are you there?
Yes, Bram, thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me. I sadly only joined the second half, but I love the quality, and it was evident to me that a lot of members were taking up multiple roles, but they did it so seamlessly. And for the evaluations, even though I wasn't there for the speeches, I felt, or I was able to get the gist of the speeches. So thank you so much. This is a meeting I hope to be attending more frequently. This is the second I have attended since you started, and I'm hoping I'll be able to attend more because there is so much to learn, so much to gain. Thank you, Bram, for always honoring and inviting me. And thank you all for allowing me to be part of it. Back to you.
Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And last but not least, we have a special thank you from Peter Lessman. He said he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Peter, thank you so much for being with us and also participating in our table topic session.
A couple of observations I have. You folks are very devious in terms of selecting a topic, winging it, and then you not only chose the topic, but you demonstrated and gave examples all over the place for nearly 2 hours on how to wing it during a Toastmaster meeting. I thought that was fantastic. And whoever orchestrated that or whoever planned that, I have to give them high marks. And to the rest of you folks for pulling it off according to plan. So I think you fooled me in titling this program as Winging It. It was rather a demonstration on how to wing it. So thank you very much for letting me attend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And our last but not least, TM Ram. Yes, Ram, you'd like to share as well?
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, there are a lot of guests here today. That's wonderful. You aptly, Madam Toastmaster, said that there is something that brings others back each and every week. And the main thing that I look through when you look at a Toastmaster is the asset. Does this, like a company, just like any Toastmaster club, what assets do you have without liabilities? And the assets are that they are very, very advanced. You are very, very advanced, and you demonstrate that each and every week, and you will bring about good quality, and you develop them as well. Dinesh's speech, as well as the mouse, madam that spoke about this mouse, Marianna. Yeah, that was quite a thing, the vocal variety, etc. So those two speeches were really, really top notch. And those are the things that a guest would see, would like to see, would like to develop themselves when coming to a Toastmaster club, not only by name alone, but in action. And as I said, the people that you are attracting, there's something there. What is that bait? A bait is something like, you don't give a small bait to a shark, a larger bait. And there are other types of bait for all that are seeking good things in a Toastmaster club. Madam Toastmaster, back to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much for participating. If you didn't participate, the meeting would not have been what it is. And as our founder said, that which is Mr. Smedley, Dr. Smedley, you learn through the activities. I'll now hand the virtual lectern over to CGD Bram Memo, who is going to close us off. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. As you know, this week was supposed to be our elections, but we didn't hold the elections because most of the nominees are away at their own conferences all over the globe in their own districts. Hence, we didn't hold the elections this week. Club elections. We will be holding our club elections next week, where most of the members will be back from their conferences from around the globe and be back here. So I would urge that every member that was here today be present next week, because we need a quorum for any elections. We do need a quorum, and we have a full slate of officers to vote into positions for next year. So the voting, the elections will be conducted at the beginning of the meeting next week, because Vinod is the election committee chair and also conducting the votes, the elections, I mean, because we don't have a past president. It is a brand new club, so he will be doing that. Our parliamentarian as well will be present, Tony Brashett. He wasn't able to come here today as well due to other businesses that he's attending. So be sure to be here. We will be electing our officers for the coming year, and the nominees slate is full. If you want to run from the floor, by all means, you're allowed to run from the floor or nominate yourself, and then we can have the nominees, and you do a 2-minute speech and so on. Which, as you know, this is an advanced club, so you all know the rules. I see that Sandy has her hand up. Sandy, how can I help you?
I'm just wondering, Bram, will there be speakers and evaluators and table topics, or will the election?
Yes.
Oh.
No, the elections will probably take 15 minutes. We are not a club that sort of will take forever. You know, some clubs run elections for 2 hours. I don't think it will run that much. We are an advanced club, so we will just go quickly, or through the process. We don't need to learn new things about how elections are run. We already know how elections are run. So it won't be an exercise in learning how elections are run. It'll be an exercise in let's get our executive team members voted in for next year. So let's get on with the real job of how to speak better, how to be better leaders, self-directed leaders, and how to be great evaluators. And evaluations make leaders to be great leaders. It is really mastering evaluations as well. So those are things is our main focus. And so that's where we will be focusing on rather than trying to learn how to do elections and so on. So that you can learn back in your own community clubs or wherever you are. So,
Bud is the question.
Hi, Bud. We can't hear you, Bud.
There, is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, just more of a statement than a question. At this time, I have very few people volunteering to speak for next week's meeting. And Bram's right, we need to have leadership speak, educationals and speakers at every meeting, because as has been pointed out in our observations here at the end, this is a very advanced group and all of us have a lot to learn from all of the rest of us. So let's make sure that we have opportunities to learn. I need speakers. Please sign up for speeches, especially for next week. I know Sandy was asking because she's already signed up to be an evaluator next week and she's wondering if she'll be evaluating. So I'm looking for speakers, Toastmasters, and people to fill enough roles so that Bram doesn't have to do it all. That's it.
Marianna.
Yes, but if you want, you can put me down as a speaker again, because today I had a different speech prepared, but I changed it. So if nobody else signs up, I'll be happy to speak again.
Just sign up for the speech so I know what path, what level, what project.
You just request it on Easy Speak and then you'll be assigned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make sure you're in there.
Francois, what would you like to do next week, Francois?
I had put I won't be attending the meeting on Easy Speak because District 81, we have our conference over the weekend. Yes, so I already on Easy Speak declined to attend meeting.
Sure.
It's from 8 in the morning until 12.
Have a great conference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Long one. Okay.
It's a long one, yes.
Sandy, what would you like to do next week?
I signed up for weeks in advance, I think, because I'm a self-directed leader. I think I'm going to be a speech evaluator, but I could do I could do something else if you want.
No, whatever it is that you signed up for. I'm just looking to see if it's there.
We have two people signed up for next week's meeting. Sandy for
yes,
evaluator, and Dinesh.
Oh, and Peggy is the sergeant at arms. I love that. Perfect. So here's the thing, to be effective leaders, we need to to put it into place that by Sunday you ought to know what role you're doing, and that you should also have checked into Easy Speak saying whether you're coming or not, and then use your date timer in your calendar and put it in your calendar. This is what I would prepare and this is when I will be preparing. Use your calendar effectively, which is what self-directed is. Self-directed means to plan, know what your goal is, and then to prepare, and then practice it, and then come and present. This is an advanced club, so we are not a community club. So the expectation of winging it at the last minute shouldn't really be there. In terms of your own role, in terms of where you want to go next. I'm sure the meetings like this do take place where we have to wing it, where suddenly, or not suddenly, but from time to time, districts have conferences, or they want their members to be at their own district. So those things will happen. For example, Farsi in China, their own district has something, right, as well. And oh, by the way, Farsi, I think he won his district contest. I think he'll end up as semi-final and then in finals this year. Last year or the year before, he was a semi-finalist, and he's a member here. So watch first. And whenever he speaks or whenever he's doing an evaluation, whatever, he's just awesome. So let's just make sure that we support him and be where he is, wherever he's speaking, we'll find out and support him there. So awesome. That's it from me. Anything else from anybody else here about being self-directed or how we should conduct ourselves from this week? By the way, I will be contacting you all as well. I'll take it to the next level, next notch about connecting. I will connect with you all, and I will drag you into the agenda every week, and pull your teeth out and your nails out if I have to. We'll go advanced. So I'm prepared to go advanced. I mean, I was very busy with Club Growth Director and still am, but now how I have met clubs very successfully is simply this: connecting one-on-one. When you put a message in a group, nobody will take action. It's a fact. And my success in Toastmasters always been that I connect with people one-on-one. If you don't connect people on one-on-one, that club is dead. It doesn't happen. And especially in a Toastmasters club that is advanced, you really need to know all the members who are in the club, all the team players. You need to know them. Who are my team players? There's 27 of us as a team. Do you know all of them? Do you know their names? Do you know Linda? Linda is a member. And I know Linda has been a bit absent for a little while, but I'm glad that she was able to make it today. And I hope that Linda will Linda is a hint for you, take a role in next week as well, because I know you said you would be coming next week. So, by the way, Linda is from Kenya. I'm from Kenya, so we speak Swahili. So it's so good to see a couple of people from Kenya here. Rosie Rana dropped in for a little while and then dropped off. So I will be connecting with every one of you. I know every one of you anyways, and I'll get to know you even better. Some of you I know very well because I communicate with you on a very regular basis, like Dinesh, Marianna, Sandy, Bud Brown, Hannah. I communicate with you on a very regular basis. I've started to get to know Francoise Bowen as well a little bit. She was a bit absent for a while, but now she's taking part in every meeting. So I look forward to sort of getting to know her even better, and sort of get her to sort of step into bigger roles and do other things as well in this club, in committees and so on. So good to see you all. Thank you very much. I'm done. This meeting is adjourned, but we can still hang out and be here. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you. Hannah was at her own home club, I believe, or another club. So she came in just now when that meeting finished. She's dedicated, and she's from Namibia. and I talk to Hannah like 10 times a week. She says good morning and good evening every day to me. And then what Hannah does is she knows my online calendar. She goes and books a time slot once a week, and she says, I want to talk to you. Let's hang out. I like that. I like that very much. I don't connect with her. She wants to connect with me all the time. So she is Dinesh, a great person to have on the membership committee. She likes hanging out with people.
We already talked about.
Dinesh, your sound is breaking up.
Sorry, you may have to join us.
So I know, but Brown and Dinesh, you both of you have a little bit of a sound problem today.
Yeah, I've got 3 different microphones that I can use. One of them ran out of power, and I didn't realize until I was partway through. I've got it charging right now.
Oh, I see.
And the one from my camera, which worked great for ages, has suddenly started to act up. So I'm going to have to find out why that is.
Did you install some new software or something, or usually it tends to interfere sometimes?
Have me excuse.
Hi, Yvonne.
Have me excuse.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm leaving. Thanks.
We'll see you next week, Yvonne.
Pardon?
See you next week.
No, next week we have District
Oh,
81
yeah, of course.
conference.
Your conference, yes, that's right.
Yes.
You and Francois would be attending the conference.
Okay.
Or we'll see you whenever you are able to come back.
Yes, I will try.
And you're welcome to join us as a member.
Yes, I'm thinking of it. I will have to get further details.
Yeah, I mean, Francois will help you with the details. And if you want to speak to me or to
Brent
Hannah
sent me
Schmidt here,
something.
she's on the committee of members here, so she can speak to you as well.
All right. I think of it, but I have to reach up to your standard. Okay, thanks. Good afternoon.
You know,
Good day.
you can reach that standard very easily by just saying yes.
Okay. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bram, I had a chat today with Piali, and she's ready. She's waiting for you. Send her to your application. I mean, her application.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, great. Okay. So we will do that. I'll send her an application form. Actually, since Hannah is on the membership committee, we'll get Hannah to do that and get Piali on board so that because I have many different things to do as club growth director and some big projects. So we got a good team here to take care of all those. So and Marianna, thank you for helping out on that. So
welcome.
So actually, why don't you directly coordinate with Hannah and Piali? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But what sort of help do you need? Oh, he's gone. Well, I'll talk to him offline. Okay, so
I'm gonna go. Always happy to be in the meetings. I'm always learning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for winging it, and just that's the right, theme for the day. So
I'm like, oh wow, it just come right in handy.
very well done. Thank you.
All right.
I'm so glad you're a member.
Yes. All right. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
All right. There we go. You're shaking your head, Hannah. Hannah's probably going to talk to me now for the next half an hour. So maybe whenever you want to leave.
Says who? I like Marianna's cups at the back.
Thank you.
She's got over 300 mugs, she tells me.
Have you had a sip out of each one of them?
Well, yeah, because when I'm buying them, I always try them out. You don't buy anything without trying it out, right? So definitely.
No, I have a question. Do you test drive it before you buy it?
No, I trust the stores. And that said, once I did buy a crooked one. So when I tried to drink from it, it was leaking. So I had to buy a second one because
a leaking mug? I've never heard of a leaking mug before.
Do we still need the recording?
Yeah. So
this
is a very beautiful mug, and it was cracked right over here.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
So this is my second one because it's so beautiful. I needed one I can use. So the broken one is up on top of my shelf on the other side.
So how do you decide what mug to use for the day?
Well, I come over here, look, and whichever gets my eyes. But yeah, this is one of my favorite.
Oh,
monkeys.
The monkeys.
Uh-huh.
And this is one of my newest cup. I have a cup mug. I just got it from my daughter who came back from Florida. And you can see Disney is our vacation spot. So we love Disney World.
Oh, okay. So when did you start first collecting your mugs? When did you decide that you were collecting mugs?
It actually happened accidentally because when I moved here, I brought with, actually, I made these two mugs when I came. This is my birthday, right? And I made one for my husband. And but I made this so make sure that he never forgets my birthday. So, you know, before my birthday coming up, he got his coffee in this one.
Yeah.
Just a gentle hint. And then we traveled, and I always bought a mug. And, you know, after you have like 10, you have to decide. You either throw them out or you buy a lot more. And guess what my decision was?
So did you say you divorced? Didn't you give him the mugs to take the mugs with?
No, I kept the mug. It's my memory. But yeah, he's out. The mug is here.
Hannah, what do you say to that? You know, she divorces, but she keeps his mug. Hannah is sleeping. Hannah?
Yeah.
Up with us then.
I was asking, do we still have to do a recording of this meeting? Because I see the recording is still on.
Oops.